Now we speak about the procedure of introducing Focus Business School in a nation. And first of all, we need to present information about FBS to the key leaders that might be interested to be carriers of Focus Business School in a nation. What usually happens is that they contact us, they mail us, or they know somebody close to us. It becomes a link between us. And what we do is, the first step is to mail them the PowerPoint presentation, the background that we looked at today, with a text that lays as a foundation for that PowerPoint. It's about 10 A4 pages. We also send them the handbook for Focus Business School with a deeper understanding of the practical parts of running a school. We inform them that they can go to our web page. There at the web page you can also download lessons. Not all lessons, but they can download some lessons. They can read more about the curriculum, watch some videos. They can contact me at marco@focusbusinessschool.org. And the category of people that is interesting as partners in nation are denominational leaders, the key business people. And when I say key, I don't mean people who are key in society, but key in the sense that they show a great commitment to the business school and are ready to show the responsibility. People from bigger organizations that might be able to run, represent and spread the Focus Business School in a nation. Sometimes it's not a denomination, sometimes it can be some kind of ministry or some Christian NGO. Some criteria for these people: they should not have financial motives why they run the Focus Business School, but have a heart to raise up people out of poverty. They must have the heart for the grassroots people. They should not have a mentality of isolation towards other Christians, since we want the course to be available to all types of Christians in the nation. Now, if there is a denomination that wants to run the business school, of course, we can limit it and we give them the right to run it within their denomination, and does not give them the obligation that they must share it with other denominations, because maybe we want this, we are ready to focus and put energy into other denomination. Of course, that could be the case sometimes. We would need one local representative that will be the contact point between Focus Business School International and local representation, and in between the local, representation, the local people, to present the Focus Business School in person and discuss with the people who might be interested in start up Focus Business School in the nation. I just came back from Africa, and we were in Rwanda. I was in Rwanda for 3.5 days, it was 4 days. So we met church leaders, we met potential co-workers. We had a Focus Business School representation day where we met all types of people, from pastors, Christian professors and so on. And in Burundi, I went to Burundi, and there we met the social branch of the Pentecostal movement, and also the key pastors of the Pentecostal movement. So that was and there we were two whole days. So at this time, or shortly after, it's a group who seriously want to carry Focus Business School in a nation. We are ready to go to the next step. What is the next step? The next step is representatives from the Focus Business School International team who come for 2 to 3 weeks training of local teachers and coming leaders of the Focus Business School, the TOT. That's why we're here today, to share with you how you can do a TOT. But I also forgot to say is, those who are experienced in the Focus Business School can run 1 week's training within the program. You who are the one that are just coming into and want to work with us, you will first, after this day's training, after you get into the material, read it and get acquainted with the material, you will follow somebody else who's more experienced. So we will not send you out, standing there trying to represent the school, because they have a lot of questions. And if you don't know what you're talking about, you will start to make up answers. So that's why we have to always follow us once or twice or something before you are ready to be the one that are out there on the front line teaching and doing the TOT. Also, we want you to either be a teacher in the Focus Business School here in Sweden, or that you have been to our school here in Stockholm or Göteborg or wherever, and been with us a couple of times and really, understand how the school is running. Really, you are really well acquainted with this concept and program. Okay, so after the TOT, the school is ready to be launched. Any questions on the procedure of introducing the Focus Business School in Nation? We'll summarize. Number one, we send them all kind of material and the link to the website and so on, so they can look through. If they seem to be serious and they are organizationally strong enough that it seems interesting, we will go down for a seminar. And after the seminar, we see if they are ready to run the School in Nation, we will come for a TOT training. And then they can run the school. Okay? Good. Okay, let's go through the handbook. Good. Okay, let's go through the handbook. The first page is the history, and you don't have to repeat that since we went through the background, the PowerPoint with the background. We should repeat the vision once more and really hammer it into them. That is to raise the income of believers through business, to make the churches self-reliant. Through point 1, enabling believers to give more tithes and offering. 3, to give a hope for the young generation to stay in their region. And number 4, to make disciples of Christ in the marketplace. Okay? The method for which we are working is a 48-lesson course that covers 9 different blocks, ranging from how to manage personal finances to business planning and startup, character building, and how to have a kingdom perspective with your business. In the course, we emphasize developing a lifestyle that will attract the blessing of God. Life transformation by the renewing of the mind. Becoming acquainted with simple business models and common sense business practice that will increase the chance of success in business. Target group. The target group is mainly grassroots people in the churches who have not yet started a business but are interested in improving their financial situation by starting one. That's the main target group. 2, the course will also be very beneficial for those Christians who already have a business, since they will get a biblical foundation for how to do business with a kingdom perspective. And of course, they'll also learn a lot of practical things. We have seen a lot of people double and triple their turnover in their business shortly after they have went through the business school. And fun thing is I've seen a lot of non-believers coming to the school, and their business is just, transformed after the business school, even if they are not Christians.
3, as a byproduct, we also are seeing more and more non-Christian participate in the course, which has been very positive. We just make sure to them before they start that they understand that the course is Bible-based. We are always honest and transparent. We don't, we don't ask them to come and then they discover, what is this, We say it before they come. If they can accept the biblical perspective, they are welcome to participate in the Focus Business School. We always also try to, make all people to feel very welcome. We don't have any discriminating attitudes whatsoever. We love all our students, no matter their religious background. It's very important. They're all equal in our eyes. But as we said, our target group is the body of Christ, since we see that the body of Christ are struggling with financial issues, and the churches are struggling. Okay, criteria of partnering with Focus Business School. The partner needs foremost have a heart for the grassroots people, to raise them out of poverty through the power of entrepreneurship. Somebody said, if you try to reach the people in high places, you'll probably not succeed. If you try to reach the people on the lowest level, you will reach the people on the low level and the high level as well. It's like a divine principle. So many people say to me, raise the fees a lot, and target the one that have big businesses and so on, and maybe then you have 5-10 people you're working with, 15 people, but you will not transform a church, you will not transform a nation. It's for the grassroots people you transform them. And we see when in Burma the first year we had these poor people coming. The second year we had the millionaires coming. And the more we have been running the school, the more it's coming university students, even teachers from university. We had one professor once, at the business school, but we're still keeping that focus. It's the grassroots people. The partner needs to be committed and driven to run the school without outside help. Beside the first kickstart or the first set of training. So we will not go into any kind of financial relation where we have to put in all the money for starting up and running the school and renting offices and taking responsibility for them. They must be able to do that themselves. We will though keep a long-term relation, but the partner needs to be self-sustainable both financially and as an organization. The partner doesn't work for the mother organization in Sweden, so they are not working for us. So if we do a contract with the denomination, they are not under our authority. And we give them orders what to do and so on. Of course, there's a relation, and we give them advice, and in the beginning we have an authority because it's a concept that we have to preserve and watch over. But the main idea is to equip them to run the school on their own accord. But we, of course, nurture the relationship. So we try to give them the ownership of the course. Of course, that is a process that maybe takes a year or half a year or whatever, but really that is the goal. We don't want to be a big organization because then we're going to have offices and responsibilities and we need a lot of control all over the world and the concept cannot spread. That is to spread the concept. So we have to make it easily spread by not burdening ourselves with too much responsibilities. The partner needs to carry a high level of integrity and not see the school as ways of profiting themselves, but as a ministry for Christ. And that's why we focus on that teachers are doing it voluntarily. It's not a salary coming there. It's not a way of earning money. But they do it because they have a heart for the people. We prefer to have partners that represent a denomination or an organization that has capacity to assemble a team of teachers, attract students, and are able to spread the school outside their own city. That is our most wished partner. So that they have a capacity of social, organizational, and financial infrastructure. Now, in some cases, like we have in Rwanda, where we want to work with all the denominations, we have started an organization ourselves, but it's a local board, has a local responsibility, but that is a free agent, so they can work with everybody, but there's representatives from the different denominations in that board. Expectation on the partner. To assemble a team of businessmen and spiritual leaders that would take full responsibility for the school. To commit to run the school over a longer period. To be willing to spread the school in the nation and to share the school to other groups of Christians. So these are the things we expect the partners to do. Expectations from the partner on Focus Business School, the mother organization. We will provide the material and the first set of training of the people who will run the schools and the teachers' team. A continual communication to support the development of the school. An ambition to regular revisits to fortify the schools and have a dialogue with the representatives of Focus Business School in the nation. So this is the commitment we have on our part. To start the school, resources required. Facilities. A room is required where the course can be conducted once a week. To keep down the cost of running a school, it is preferred that an organization running or benefiting from the course makes their facilities available for the Focus Business School free of charge. So let's say that there's a church, a denomination is running the business school, then they should have in their own facilities and not charge any rent, because it's their own people that are benefiting. So if these people are succeeding, they will pay more tithes and offerings. So each one of us carry our own, burden in this and do our part. We chip in different ways. The lectures are usually held in churches but can be done in any other facility that suits the purpose. We prefer churches, but if there's no church available, we can be wherever suits the purpose. Human resources. There should be at least 2 people who commit themselves to take the full responsibility for running a school. Now I'm not talking about in the nation, I'm talking about one school in one place. Besides the core group, there can be an unlimited number of teachers. So a teacher can maybe just come and teach 1 lesson per semester. That's okay. We prefer, though, that the teacher have gone through a teacher's crash course or a former student or our former students, but it's not a requirement always. Sometimes it's hard to find teachers. But the ideal is that they have gone through the crash course, the TOT training, or that they have been students. The people running the schools needs, though, to have gone through a teacher's training and be certified. Okay. Maybe I'll do some changes to that. License. See separate paper for condition of the license. Okay, let's go through the license.
I do have a question.
What sa du?
I do have a question.
Yes.
I'd like to go back to where you said a target group there.
Yes.
And it says, as a byproduct, we are also seeing more and more non-Christians participating in the course.
Yes.
And if they can accept the Bible perspective, they are welcome to participate in a Focus Business School. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking about all my friends that are non-Christian, and what would I tell them, like, the biblical perspective? What do you put in the biblical perspective? What do they need to accept?
Well, they need to accept that this business school is a lot of the principles are Bible based.
Okay.
So we can say this is a Christian business school, or we can say it's Bible based principles, and because in one way it's open for everybody. It's
Right.
business. It's practical issues we are speaking about.
Okay.
At the same time, it's very Bible based. We have to be clear with them so that they get surprised when they come.
Yeah, well, okay. So they don't feel cheated.
So they don't feel
The
cheated.
whole
Yeah.
course contains about 1,700 Bible verses.
About 800.
800?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bible
Mm.
verses.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, license agreement. I have one license agreement here. That is with the Word of Life as an example. It's nothing. All the license agreements look the same. We can go through everything. License agreement. This is with the former Soviet Union, between Focus on Asia Ideal Förening and Word of Life International. This agreement dated as first stage, stated above between the following participants. And then there's our organization, and number 2 here is the organization we signed a contract with. Recitials. The licensor, that's us, is a non-profit organization based in Sweden. The licensor has developed and owns all rights to the Focus Business School material as defined below. C. The licensee, the one that will run the school, has the intention to engage in certain non-profit activities in the region as defined below. D. Based on the above, the parties have agreed as follows. 1. Interpretation. Definitions in this agreement. Focus Business School means a business school based on the Focus Business School material. Focus Business School material means 1. All business school materials made available by the licensor to the licensee. 2. All rights to the name Focus Business School. 3. All rights to trademark and business names from time to time used by licensor. And 4. Any other material, documents, or rights designed as Focus Business School material by the licensor. So they are right to all the material that we are creating to run the school. The master license means a license to use the Focus Business School material as set out in this agreement and further described under clause. How do you say clause? Clause 2.2 below. And then it's a region, and usually it's one nation. Sub-license means sub-license agreement between a granted under sub-license agreement. Sub-license agreement means a sub-license agreement in form set out in the schedule. So what we do with them, our main party, is that we give them a master license. It could be exclusive right for their denomination in a nation, or it can be for the whole nation. Then they sign a contract with everybody else that they, in their turn, hand over the material to. So they do a sub-license agreement and send a copy to us in Sweden. So we don't have to sign contract with 100 churches in Mozambique or in Congo. We are signed with one party and then sign with the others, and then send us the copy. Okay? Master license. Granting a master license, the licensor hereby grants a master license to the licensee. Scope of the master license. The master license confers, subject to accomplice with the undertaking set out in clause 3 and 4, an exclusive right within the region and right of licensee to grant sub-licenses within the region. So there we have. They get the right to have the master license, and they can grant sub-licenses within that region. General undertakings. The licensee shall respect the Christian core values from time to time, represented to the licensee by the licensor. 3.2. The objectives of the Focus Business School is to 1. Improve the standard of living for individuals and their families. 2. Make local churches financially independent and self-sufficient. 3. To create hope for the young generation to stay in their region. And 4. To promote and empower Christian discipleship in the local business community. The licensee must therefore work towards fulfilling these objectives, which, among other things, implies the business school shall be operated on a non-profit basis, at a low-cost basis, in order to accommodate the students with little means of paying tuition, also will be able to attend the business school. Okay? This is a very important thing in the agreement, that they try to keep down the fees so it become affordable even for the poor people. And if you cannot run the school because it cannot carry its own cost, and you have this just the fee that creates break even and a small profit or something, then maybe we can look to other kind of solutions like scholarships or having a lower fee for certain people. But that is up to the partner to take those decisions. 3.3. The licensee shall operate by any business school and grant any sub-license on a non-profit basis. So they cannot sell the right to others to run the business school. Notwithstanding the above, the licensee may charge fees for the business school in order to cover any cost associated with operating the business school. So it should not be, the one that is running the business school of his church should not cost them money. The school fee should carry what it costs to run the schools. The licensee may only use the Focus Business School material in connection with operating Focus Business School, and the Focus Business School material may not be sold or reproduced other than in connection with such business school. So they cannot sell the material in seminars or in church or something. It's only connected with running the school. The licensee may not, without the prior written approval by the licensor, make any changes to the Focus Business School material. Notwithstanding the above, the licensee may make necessary or appropriate local adaptations of the Focus Business School material where specifically noted in the material. And when we send them the open files to translators, there's some text that is marked in green. And we have said you can change everything is marked in green, you can change without asking us. Because all those are examples. They can change the currency, the rates, and the examples. And they should also do it. 3.6. If the licensee grants a sub-license to a third party, then the licensee shall procure that such third party enters into a sub-license agreement. The licensee shall promptly provide the licensor with a copy of that sub-license agreement. 4. Specific undertakings. The licensee shall translate the Focus Business School material to the local language and have the right to translate into all native language in the region. The right to such translation shall belong to licensor. So if they translate, they should send all the copies to us in Sweden so we have the translation. Because let's say we get some problem with our partner down there, we don't want to invest in a new translation. Or if one denomination, let's say the Anglican Church, runs the Focus Business School and translates, then they want, the other Pentecostals or whatever denomination also have to translate and do it from the beginning. It's better to have one translation in the nation. That's why it must belong to us. The licensee shall no later than as a date, conduct at least one of Focus Business School within the region. Licensee fee, to the extent that licensee obtain any net profit deriving from the master license, the licensee shall once every calendar year transfer a third of such a profit to the licensor as additional license fee. So that means that if a school makes profits, 1/3 of that profit belongs to us. There's no intention that the school should make too big profits. We have spoken that maybe they should make, if possible, a 30% profit on the turnover of running a school for the purpose of having money to establish a new school or cover losses from year on year, so they can build up a treasure. But important is that they try to recycle the money within the Focus Business School work. Now, let's say, for instance, in Africa, that we have a business school there and they make $300 profits. I mean, we don't care about those $100. We will not ask for them. But let's say there's a school that they make $10,000 profit. Then they should use that money and send it back to us Sweden so we can use it to establish new schools in other places. But we have no expectation that it's going to make big profits. They should not make big profits. And if they make big profits, then we should have part of that in that case. Assignment. The licensee may not, other than by way of sub-license, transfer any of its rights or obligations under this agreement. Notices, and then we have our address and information and their address and information. 8. Contract period. This agreement shall remain in effect for a period of 5 years, 4 years, or 2 years, starting from the date of this agreement. The licensor is at any time entitled to terminate the agreement with immediate effect should the licensee fail to comply with its obligation under this agreement. 9. Governing law. This agreement shall be governed by and constructed in accordance with Swedish law. This agreement has been entered into the date stated in the beginning of this agreement. And then us, and then them. And then they have the sub-license agreement. I don't think we have to go through this. Okay? So everybody understand the procedure of the license? Okay, good. Okay, translation. In the course, we use 4 documents: a teacher outline, a PowerPoint presentation, a study guide to be put into a binder or a similar folder by the students, and a homework sheet. We also have extra material to some of the lessons called extra. All top 4 documents are used in every lesson, so they need to be translated and used. A few lessons don't have homework sheets. All the translated documents should be made in the same layout as the original documents. Templates will be provided. So there's a template, especially for the study guide is a template where they can put in the text. Otherwise, the best way is to just use the existing English text and just swap it with the local text so that you keep the template there. The sight impression is of importance since part of the lesson is to transfer the impression of excellence. Some of the examples in the original text are contextual, and the translator are free to change the example to match what is relevant to their own context without asking for permission. The text that the translators are free to change are marked in green. We recommend the translators to write local relevant example together with a local businessman, woman, and try to keep the business example as simple as possible so that all the students can easily identify themselves with examples. Any other change to the text is not permitted unless special permission is granted by Marco Strömberg, Director of Focus Business School and author of the Focus Business School material. Also, we prefer, if it's possible, if the students can afford it, we want the text to be in 4-color print. That is not always possible because the prices are quite high, but if you can be a little bit innovative and find ways of printing in a very cheap way, the students are very happy, especially if they're poor, if they have full-color print papers. Like when we were in Burma, there's people that have never in their lives before seen a full-color print. And they were so proud that they have full-color print when they went to Dubai and returned home, I have full-color print. So they felt, they are promoted in life. Okay. Any questions on the translation? When you come and do your TOT, probably translation is already done. In most cases. Advertising Focus Business School. Since the Focus Business School is an interdenominational, we target all churches from all denominations. We recommend a brochure to be made that explains the vision of the school and inspires people to attend the course. Our experience is that about 10 to 20% of the people who get a brochure in their hand will also apply for the course. So we had, if we wanted 200 students, we printed 2,000 brochures. So we always target 10 times the number of students we wanted to have. We printed the brochures. Of course, that was a big city that we were in, so it depends, of course, on the city. So if you have 2,000 inhabitants in the city, you cannot print 10,000 and get 1,000 students, of course. Usually about a tenth of the people who get the brochures also apply for the school. That's our experience. To get the brochure, there should also be an application form that the students can hand in to the people who administrate the Focus Business School. To make the school known to a bigger audience and get a bigger number of students is an important part in how God is using the Focus Business School. So the ones who administrate the Focus Business should try to print many brochures and make an effort to address many churches about the Focus Business School. We see that God is using the Focus Business School as a plow to create a paradigm shift in the mindset of the churches. As we saw in Burma, it was not only individuals that benefited or only individual churches, but also pioneered the idea of entrepreneurship being part of the local church in the denominations. So we saw, as I mentioned earlier, we saw whole denominations changing their attitudes towards business in a few years' time. So that's the grace we experience with the Focus Business School. I think you have the same experience in Mozambique also. It's affecting the whole denomination.
It's opening up very much.
It's opening up very much. So that's why the number of students are very important. I don't say that you have to have a lot of students in one class, but if you have many schools, and then it will make up a bigger number, because we don't want these people to fight against an environment that is against them. We want a lot of people to go there so it becomes a business-friendly environment in the local church, because many people are going through the school and many people accept that you can be a Christian businessman. So that's why it's important that we really put an effort into the advertisement. Visit individual churches and conferences to inspire for the participation in Focus Business School is an effective part of attracting students. Conducting a business seminar that targets people who are interested in starting a business is another effective way to get new students to Focus Business School. Before we started in Myanmar, we had a couple of very big business seminars. And I think the last business we had before we started school, we got 100 students just from that seminar. So it was really very, very helpful. And then we will also have seminars now for pastors in Stockholm and in Göteborg this coming fall. So it's really a very good way of attracting interest to school. The people that run the course need to put a lot of energy on promoting the school to a broad audience. Okay. Fees. We recommend the school to have an enrollment fee and course fee that will be decided together with the local administrators and the direction of Focus on Asia. That is the mother organization. That's us. Why? I would say that we very much give them the right to decide the fees and set the level on the fees. But it's just that sometimes it can become too high, so we try, or too low that they cannot run the school. So we just want to have that check. Not that we want to decide too much, but just, make sure that it's a relevant price. Adequate price, sorry. The cost that occur for conducting the course should be covered by the school fees. This can be the rent for the facility, printing cost, the wages for translator, etc. Focus on Asia, Focus Business School will not take responsibility for any costs. That's why a thought-through budget must be made before the school starts, and out of that the level of fees are set. And as I said, since we have a school that is have low fees, we need to have a very cost-effective business model, trying to get the facilities for free, pressing down the prices of the printing, and so on. That is the biggest cost: is facility and the printing of the material, the study guides and the homework and the brochures. That usually are the big cost of running the school. The fee should be as low as possible so that everybody will have the possibility to attend the school. Okay, some places maybe it's not possible to have two very low fees, but as low as possible. Conducting a Focus Business School course. Depending on the situation, a Focus Business School is conducted with different variety of time frames. If the nation region that haven't had a Focus Business School before, we usually start with a 16-day intensive course. That's a 2 weeks course. For this course, it is especially important that the key people attend: church leader, businessmen, others who could conduct their own Focus Business School in the future. We particularly want to train the trainers, but all who are interested in starting a business are welcome. A 6-month course with 2 lessons per week, or a 12-month course with 1 lesson per week is a normal length of the course and can be done after the introductory course is conducted in the nation region. A 3-month course can also be done with 4 lessons per week, but part of the idea is to let people digest the teaching over a longer period of time. So we really prefer at least a 6 months course, because as we are working with the renewing of the mind, they need time to process the teaching. If we just give them all the knowledge in 3 months, they get knowledge, but probably their minds are not renewed. So that's why we want this, the length that we can really digest and process and think and do the homework and then come back a week later. Okay? Length of the lesson. The length of each lesson must be decided on beforehand so the students know when the lesson starts and finish. Once the schedule is set, there shouldn't be any changes. It is important that the student can trust the time limits that the school communicate. Every lesson starts and finishes on time. So if its lesson goes from 10 to 11:15, it must finish 11:15. You cannot finish 11:45. Doesn't matter how inspired you are, because people coming there, they have jobs they have to go to. They have to, catch a bus and so on. And if we cannot show that we respect the time, how can we expect them to respect the time? So we start on time. We start 9 o'clock in the morning. We start 9 o'clock sharp, Maybe 2-3 minutes over, that's okay, but it's definitely not more than 5 minutes. It should be actually on exactly on time. And then we finish exactly on time. That's very important. Because maybe you feel very inspired, but maybe they have made an appointment, and no matter how good it is, they will be irritated on you. In Yangon, we have used 1.5 hours per lesson that has been with interpreter for the foreign language speaker. But for a course run in a local language, 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes should be sufficient per lesson. So you can have 1 hour 15 minutes, or you can have, maybe 1 hour is too short if people are not good communicators. Not all businessmen are good communicators. Just because you know how to raise pigs doesn't make you a good public speaker, or how you know how to run a restaurant. So that's why maybe the businessman needs a little bit more time to communicate the text. But I would say that for most places don't need 1.5 hours. But if they decide to have that, that's okay. Yes?
Yeah, it's also very important to find a good interpreter.
Yeah.
Because if you have an interpreter that doesn't get what you're saying, the lesson's going to take more time.
Yeah, sure.
So you have to find good interpreters.
Two categories of people are especially important for the business school as teachers: church leaders and business people. Their different competence in the spiritual and the practical business area will give depth to the school. The church leaders can give spiritual substance to the lessons, and the blocks 1 to 3 and 7 to 9 are suitable for them to teach, especially blocks 7 and 8. Okay? So we try to have a mix of the people running the school. Not only business people, not only church people, because we want to connect the church with the business community. So we want to have that mix of teachers and people running the schools. Okay? And block 1 to 3 is just the basics of saving and personal finances. So absolutely the pastors can teach those lessons. And dreams and visions. 7 is character. 8 is biblical finances. 9 is the spiritual businessman. So these blocks the pastors can teach if they want. For the business people, block 1 to 7 and block 9 are suitable. So all blocks. They can teach block 8, of course, but we really prefer the pastors to teach those lessons, if possible. Maybe the teaching, like on the ministry of giving, the businessman can teach that if they are great givers. If there's no possible way to arrange both business people and church lead to run the school can be run any way that works. So in some places you don't have a lot of people to choose on. Then you just have to start. Integrity. The people who teach must have a pure motive behind why they are involved with the school. They should not be people who want to utilize the course for their own selfish reason, like financial gain, influence, or other impure motives. The motive behind why they want to be involved should be the desire to see people restored financially, and they should see it as a calling from God. That's why the selection process is very important when picking the team for the teachers and the leaders of the Focus Business School. This has been an issue in several places, that business people are opportunists. They see opportunity and they prey on opportunity, and they should do that. That's why they are business people. But it's very important when they come to the business school that they don't come with the attitude, what can I get out of this? What business context can I make here? Can I make my business known by standing and teaching here? Can I earn money on the school and get a good salary here? Can I maybe take half of this teaching and make my own business school and teach them and teach other people in some other city? So it's very important. They come with the motive that they want. I'm here because I want to restore people. I'm here because I want to help people. I want to create more entrepreneurs. That's why I'm here. As I said, they have to see this as a ministry for Christ. And as I said, we come with one image of what the Focus Business School is, because we have made a journey. Some of us have made a journey for years. They come and they maybe have heard about Focus Business School just, the last month. And they have a completely different picture. That's why we need this time of at least 2 weeks of being together and what do you call? Frutera. What do you call it? We really
Iron sharpens iron.
Mastigate. Mastigate.
Mastigate, okay.
Rub.
Rub, okay. We sharpen, we mastigate, we rub, whatever. Oh, okay, all these things. Okay? So, good. Yeah, I really want to emphasize this again, you know, because there will come people who want to take over the business school, they want to twist it to something else, they want to use it for their own purposes, and we have to be very clear on this. It's only the pure-hearted people that are there, because they also will be the examples, because the teacher will multiply their own attitudes in the students. Teacher's instructions. Okay. Preparing the lesson. Read through the material carefully before you teach. Make sure you understand what you are teaching. If you have any question, contact the FBS office or search the internet on related topics. Okay, that's a Focus Business School local office. So we have teachers from all over the world sending mail to us. Think of practical examples you can share that will illuminate the teaching. And that can be both, you know, your own examples, preferably your own examples, but also you can use some other good examples. Take at least 1 hour in prayer before you teach to ensure the participation of the Holy Spirit in the lessons. So when we say this, some people they ask, 1 hour? So, but I have one of the teachers who was working at the World Vision. He was a good lecturer. He had all this stuff that you hear everywhere about whatever goal setting and organizational thing. And he said, 1 hour? Okay, so he prayed an hour. And then he came and he was just so excited after the lesson. I've never felt in my life this kind of inspiration, he said. The words were just flowing through my mouth, you know. So he felt that there was something different from all the other lectures he has held in front of big audiences. Because the Holy Spirit inspired him. And the breakthrough was that he himself took that time before God and prayed. We pray, the teachers in Sweden, some of the teachers are working closely with them. We try to pray once a week on the telephone. And we pray for the students. And we hear a lot of students coming and say, during the business school lesson, I got a divine idea for my business. I got a business idea. I got this idea. It's becoming quite common, you know. And when they are doing that today, it really works for them. It's really opening up because of the participation of the Holy Spirit. Okay, arriving at the classroom. Make sure to be in the classroom at least 45 minutes before you teach so that everything in the classroom is in order. I was teaching in one place and the teacher always came 5 minutes before he was about to teach. And of course he was ready to teach before 50 minutes after he should actually start. Because you never know what kind of technical things are not working. When I came here today, the PowerPoint was upside down. It took me about 5-10 minutes before I found the button where I could change it the other way because it's been hanging in the roof, in the ceiling, sorry. So you know, you need to have that 45 minutes to make everything is in place. And maybe it takes 20 minutes or 25 minutes or half an hour, but then you have 10-15 minutes to greet the people before they come. Instead of you are stressed and you running up, you know, stressed up, you can be calm when you start to teach situation. Try to greet the students where they come and when they leave. Talk to the students and learn to know them, their ambitions and their situations. We want the teachers to be very involved in the students. We'll come back to that later. During the lesson, use your time well and make sure that you go through the whole lesson without leaving anything out or extend your time above the time that's set for the lesson. Okay? So when you teach a lesson, don't use the lesson and just use, 1/3 and then tell all your own stories. Remember, you are using a platform that is not your platform. We are providing the platform for the teachers. That's why they are there. If they were able to have their own platform, they would have their own school, but they don't have their own school. So through the material, through the Focus Business School name, through our contacts, we provide the teachers a platform, and they must respect that they are standing on somebody else's platform. And that means that they have to be faithful to the material. Otherwise, they're not qualifying to have our trust to be teachers. Keep yourself to the topic and do not start teaching on something that is not related to the lesson. There should be time to tell your own examples, to put in some extra things in the teaching. That's why we have a teacher. But don't go away too far from the main track. The stars in the teaching guide column marks the animations of the PowerPoint presentation. Red star, new slide, blue star, new animation. Okay. Discussion during the lesson. Do you want to have a 2-3 minutes break before we continue?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let's just take 2-3 minutes break, and I'll have about 10-15 more minutes.